Hey, what's up everyone, it's JoypadJake here, and welcome to our next retro game review. Today's review will be of Spider-Man Friend or Foe, which released in 2007 for the PS2, Wii, PC, PSP, 360, and DS. Everyone grab your web shooters and let's swing into the story. The story for this game is a lot better than you'd think, albeit a little bit repetitive. Although it does borrow a handful of characters and designs from the Raimi trilogy despite not being canon, so that's a plus for me. We open with Spider-Man and New Goblin facing the rest of the Raimi villains before an army of deformed symbiotes attack the gang. Venom charges headfirst into the aliens only to disappear seconds later. Immediately after this, Doc Ock, Sandman, and the two goblins vanish as well, leaving only Spider-Man to face the army of monsters. He's then rescued by S.H.I.E.L.D. director Nick Fury, who puts him on a quest to get rid of these phantoms and retrieve the meteor shards that they're pursuing. This journey takes Spider-Man all across the world, where he'll run into several familiar villains like Scorpion and Rhino, as well as some friendly faces like Black Cat and Iron Fist. And here's where some of that repetition starts. You just go into the world, eventually find a hero or villain on stage 2, recruit them, and find another character, usually a villain in this case, on stage 4 and recruit them too. They use the same story formula throughout almost the entire game except near the end. And while it's not the most compelling story, it does deliver some very entertaining scenes such as this.
Computer, if you think you can behave yourself, please load up the villain profiles.
Threat identity, Scorpion. Scorpion suit is equipped with a high-powered plasma laser. Warning, has a big tail.
Computer.
Threat identity, Rhino. Rhino's strength is only matched by his lack of wits. Warning, smells like a rhinoceros.
All right, that's enough. I want some computer techs in here right now.
I'll tell you what, I'll just leave you two to sort this out, and I'll go see if I can find your buddy Iron Fist and that meteor shard.
With that little bit of comedy out of the way, let's move on to the gameplay. Now to go over the controls for this game, I'll be using the PS2 controller. Spider-Man's controls are slightly different from the rest of the playable cast, so let's go over him first. The square button is used to punch, the triangle to switch characters, the X to jump, and the circle to grab. Throughout the game, you'll unlock different web abilities, such as the web darts, which acts as a projectile, and the web stun, which temporarily immobilizes enemies. Right after grabbing an enemy with the circle button, you have a few options on how to complete the attack. Pressing square results in a slam attack, X results in a jump attack, while pressing circle a second time is a throw, and pressing nothing results in an uppercut or direct strike. Take note that the grab mechanics that I just addressed apply to all other playable characters as well. One unique trait that the rest of the playable cast possesses that Spider-Man does not is their own unique special ability, which has to be purchased for each character in the upgrade lab before it can be used. Some of these abilities include the Earthshaker for Rhino, the Symbiote Spikes for Venom, and the Electro Storm for Green Goblin. The last features I want to go over involve the D-pad. Throughout the levels, you'll acquire these red and green power-ups, the red giving you mega damage activated with the left button, and the green giving you invincibility activated with the right button. Neither of these augments last forever though, plus you can only hold 3 of each at a time, so be wary. The final feature I want to address is the Super Team move. No, not those stupid robots from Super Mario Strikers, forget those guys. What I'm talking about is a blue power-up that's rare to find in levels, but when used looks spectacular. When activating this move by pressing up on the D-pad, Spider-Man and his chosen companion will both leap hundreds of feet into the air and perform a team-up move. This move is likely to kill almost anything it touches, but use it wisely as they are very rare to come across and cannot be carried over from level to level. Although this gameplay is slightly repetitive, it is extremely fun to test out the different sidekicks and see what they're capable of. I still get a ton of enjoyment from playing this game even today. With that being said, let's move on to the design. Although the visuals for this game haven't aged the best, they're still a pleasure to look at today. Every playable character in this game at least looks good, and most of them look great. Some of the standouts are Green Goblin, Black Cat, Venom, and Spider-Man himself. Not only do their in-game models look good, but the character art looks good as well. That is, except for Sandman. Ugh. Aside from the characters, the environments in this game look great as well. Even those that are in the same world manage to stand out from each other. Much like the character models, all of them are at least good and most of them are great. Some of my favorite levels in the design department are the beachside, sea caves, manor house, ancient church, as well as the final level in the game, the temple. The design is one aspect that I think has still managed to hold up very well today without very many problems at all, and that's an impressive feat. There are so many good aspects about this game that make it hold up very well even today. The game has mostly great designs and character art, in addition to very well designed stages. The game is very easy to pick up and play, and it's just a ton of fun. There is also a versus mode where you and a second player can throw down as any character you've unlocked in whatever stage you want, so long as you've unlocked it in the main game. The game also has tons of replay value in that you can replay any level you've beaten as many times as you want to. You want to revisit some of those early levels with some sidekicks you didn't unlock until the late game? Well, guess what? You can! Spider-Man Friend or Foe is a great game for both kids and couples to play together. On a personal note, I love the fact that this game takes characters and designs from the Raimi trilogy. It just brings this wide grin of nostalgia to my face. Now that I've spent a good amount of time praising this game, you may be wondering what I didn't like about it. Well, let's go over that now. I don't have many major problems with this game, but there are some things that do bother me. For starters, the gameplay can get slightly repetitive, specifically in the longer levels where it can sometimes feel very tedious to just tear through packs of enemies, advance a couple yards in the stage, and repeat the process. The game does have good music, but a number of tracks are very repetitive and have potential to lose some of their charm, except for the boss tracks. They at least have unique aspects that make them stand out. Another complaint that I have is the world format doesn't really change until the last world. You play through the first two levels in a world, unlock a character, play through the third and fourth levels, fight the world boss, and unlock them. This only changes in the final world, and the changes are only slight changes at that. My last complaint is that the final unlockable character, the New Goblin aka Harry Osborn, plays exactly like his father the Green Goblin. Same attacks, same throws, same projectiles, same special attack, and same super move. I get that they're father and son, but I would have at least liked some variety. New Goblin just felt like a skin with nothing that stood out about him.
Look at little Goblin Jr. Gonna cry?
Despite all these complaints, I love this game. Spider-Man Friend or Foe hits me with a truckload of nostalgic memories, and I love that. I would spend hours playing this game as a kid with various family members, most notably my cousin, and this game was definitely cause for a lot of sleepovers in my formative years. This game gets an 8 out of 10 in my book. Thank you all for watching this review, and I hope you enjoyed yourselves. If so, please drop a like. If you have any thoughts or have a retro game that you want to see covered, let me know in the comments, and if you want to see more, please hit that subscribe button. I'll see you all later. Sayonara.